Anyway, as you've seen here, there's some basic pictures here. We saw this in the walk around this morning, but I'll review our grade strategy once again. The Prius V is going to start out with a 2 grade. That's our starter vehicle. Has a lot of great features such as the smart key operation, hybrid system technologies in it, that great cargo capacity we talked about. Then you can go up to the 3 grade, and this is where you see our Intune enabled audio systems, and we had 3 grades out there with Intune today that you guys drove. And then beyond there, then the 5 grade is going to be our top of the line model. That's going to have your 17-inch wheels and tires. Who here drove a 5? Anybody drive a 5 that had the soft tech seating in it? The synthetic leather seating? Okay, yeah, be sure to swap into the other ones and try to see if everybody can drive everything. But this has got a lot of great features in it. And then, of course, finally, you can get the Prius V5 with the advanced technology package, which includes that great polycarbonate roof on it and dynamic radar cruise control and some of the other advanced technology bits for those that really want to have extra technology in their car. The color palette is actually basically the same as standard Prius, but we do have one new color, and that's the clear sky metallic. It's kind of a light blue color. That's our hero color, we call it. And interior colors, we have 3 there, and you'll see those out in the cars that you drive. Now this I'm going to go through pretty quick because we had a chance on our very wet walk around this morning to talk a little bit about aerodynamics and vehicle styling. But once again, the Prius has an iconic shape, and it's part of its image, but actually it's also part of the design goal of the car. To have a really low coefficient of drag, you need to have a more teardrop-shaped automobile. In fact, a couple of years ago when Honda launched their Insight hybrid, it looks a little bit like a Prius, and I used to laugh saying, let's give those guys a design award of the year. They must have laid a piece of paper over one of our pictures and traced it out. But in fact, they very capably acknowledge the fact that that's a very efficient design, and that's why they use it too. So it really is all about airflow management. And the thing to remember, when you have a car at highway speeds, a well-designed car like Prius will have less air resistance on it than a motorcyclist riding at the same speed if you're at highway speeds because of the irregular shapes. So this design is very, very important to maintaining good fuel economy. And so these are some sketches here from our design team. Once again, we're looking at airflow management and how to make this car as slippery as possible so that we use less horsepower to move it while it drives down the highway. We talked about our spoiler this morning. Remember that spoiler with the cutout? That once again is going to help that air move over the back of the car in an efficient manner. Did you guys see the eyebrows? It was kind of wet out there. Anybody notice those? They're kind of hard to spot. I call them eyebrows. But I'm sure there's a better name for them. But once again, that's designed to direct that air around that side view mirror assembly. From an engineering point, keeping those mirrors on the side of the car quiet at highway speeds is a challenge. That's one of the things that's very difficult to do, and it really separates a good car from a not so good car. Is how much whistling and wind noise you get around those mirrors. Then our moonroof. Did anybody check the moonroof functions out? A little wet for that, wasn't it? Well, the good thing is actually, I can tell you now, the moonroof doesn't open, so it would have been okay. It's a solid piece, and once again, it is a polycarbonate resin material. As Rick mentioned this morning, it's a lot lighter than glass, so it allows us to have a huge greenhouse here on the top of the car and not have it be too heavy. And by having it this way, it doesn't open, which also helps us save weight, but the shades on the inside of the car do open, and you have a control up there by the rearview mirror where your sunroof controls would normally be, and you can open and close these shades all are part way. The great thing about this material is not only is it light, but it also is a very poor transmitter of heat, or to put it another way, it's a very good insulator. So it's excellent, you can open up those shades, but it doesn't let a lot of heat into the car on a hot day, and it also helps your car stay cool on summer days, but also then helps it keep it warm in the wintertime too. So it's very good about not transmitting heat into the vehicle, and it also has an ultraviolet ray cut rate of about 99%, just like a windshield on a car. So you can have that open and not suffer too much from some of those invisible rays that you get from the sun. Now, I think you guys had a chance to experience this a little bit. I'm going to talk a little bit about dimensions. I didn't talk to you this morning about this, but here's really where the Prius V and Prius are separating themselves. If you look at wheelbase, distance from axle to axle, we're up 3 inches. So this is going to allow us a lot more passenger space. It's going to give us a bigger, what we call coupled distance, and that is the distance from the front and second row seats. And then also overall length is up 6 inches. So Prius V is definitely a longer vehicle, and as you can see, it's about 1 inch wider. And then, about 3 inches wider, or 3 inches taller and 1 inch wider. Yes, that was right there. So once again, bigger in every dimension. And Prius V weighs about 240 to 250 pounds more than regular Prius. So it's also a heavier vehicle too, and that's why you'll see some of the fuel economy be a little bit difference between the Prius and the Prius V. There is no free lunch in the world of efficiency. You know, if you have to move more weight or make a vehicle go fast, you have to consume more fuel to do so. So this is a bigger, heavier car. What do you guys think of the interior? Any issues there? One of the things that I like about the car that I thought from a design point was kind of cool is if you notice all of your driver controls are in silver, and even your mode buttons down here are in silver. I like the kind of color-coded thing. I'm getting kind of old, my eyes don't work so well no more. And I can find my stuff really easy. I also like the color-coded display on the instrument panel, and I'll show you that in a few minutes too, but I like having things different colors. It really helps me identify them quickly, especially on a day like today when there's foul weather out there. You don't want to be distracted by your instruments. You want to be able to glance at them, find what you need, and then get back to the road. Passenger volume at 97.2 cubic feet. Once again, this is up there around small SUV and mid-size wagon and crossover territory. And remember our three design goals, right? Technology, versatility, and efficiency. So here you've got some of the versatility factor right here, right? A lot of space inside. You know, once again, a good side-to-side distance here. Sorry about these people not having any legs. I promise you they weren't hurt in the process. But you got a lot of nice dimensions there. This car is dimensionally bigger. And then out back, this is really where it excels. You know, the cargo area, the first difference you'll see between Prius V and Prius is the height of this rear cargo area here. The opening is much taller. Prius V maintains a more level roof as you move to the back, where the Prius slopes down a little bit more. But once again, it's bigger dimensionally, length, width, and height. And so once again, you know, more than 50% greater cargo capacity. It really puts this car up on the versatile factor here. Makes it easy for people to use. You've got a tonneau cover there, or if you're a proper French person, a couvre bagage, and that you can hide actually in a little spot down here at the back of the vehicle. And then up front, here's your Softech seats, and you have a multi-adjustable front seats there. This is another difference between Prius and Prius V. We talked about it at lunch a little bit, and that is this pass-through area here at the center console. We're giving you more space. We've taken the door trim panels and actually made them a little more concave to make the car feel roomy inside. Not only is it more roomy, but we want you to have that impression of roominess. And then we can also allow you to slide across that center area if you had to. It might be a little gymnastic, but you could do it. Where in regular Prius, that is all built in as a console. So it's a little more of a cockpit feel. And then of course the rear seats. Did anybody try rear seats? Probably a little cruddy for that too, right? You know, you might actually have a chance going home today. It looks like the sun's trying to come out. If you have time, play with that seat, fold it, slide it fore and aft. Look for the storage area behind the seat. And also I will challenge you guys to find the battery cool air intake. If someone can tell me that later on tonight at dinner, I don't have anything to give you, but I'll be very impressed. I'll give you my clicker. But nevertheless, let's see if anybody can find that. I'll leave that as a challenge. You may be able to glean that from me here in the presentation, but that's your challenge for tonight. But once again, these seats recline between 15 and 45 degrees. It's a 60-40 split, so as the slide kind of goes through, it gives you a lot of flexibility. Once again, versatility as an owner. You also have a little hardened area on the back of the seats here to help accept cargo and make it easy to slide things in and out. This is one of my favorite features too. You know, you have the ability to separate some of the stuff you use, maybe the things you use frequently in the top area, and then of course your larger items in the bottom. That's where your owner's manual might live and whatnot. But I'm always disorganized when it comes to my car stuff. I tend to throw everything in the glove box and it flops around in there. And then when you need to use something, you can't find it. Where's my pen? I can't find my pen. So I like to have this kind of capability. Did anybody discover what this is here? Cup holder, pop-out cup holder. Good. And this is a great little thing set up here too. I like this. The center console tray is nice. I would put my little phone up here though on this little ledge. Did you see that? And then also you've got all your plugs here for your accessories, and your USB aux input are all right there in this area. So this makes a nice electronics area here for your personal stuff. Then we got the center console here. You see a cup holder here. Did anybody else spot another cup holder on the center console? Oh, there's another one. That's an easier challenge, but there it is. You know, and I'll admit this. I shouldn't in front of Rick, but I did a presentation on this car live on the internet to our dealers a few months ago. And I told everybody we only had 2 cup holders up front because I didn't spot the third one. So there is another one, and I'll tell you it's in this console. And I did find that out later. I only made that mistake once, but don't find out why. Otherwise, though, a nice side opening lid here. This little tray pops out, so you can have stuff in there, or you can pull that out if you need the space. So it's little things here to make this car very easy to use for the owner that are going to make it such a spectacular vehicle. Storage back at the back. I showed you a little bit of this morning, but in fact, you can pull the cargo deck up and see that there's several compartments here to stash goodies. This is where your high voltage battery lives. Okay.